7 a.m. Local, real, everywhere. CBS 46 News at noon starts now.
New at noon starting today, Atlanta. It's our time. The big game's over and Atlanta's officially on the clock as the host of the Super Bowl 53 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Good afternoon, I'm Karen Greer. Right now, cleanup is underway after Super Bowl 52 in Minneapolis. The Philadelphia Eagles soaring over New England Patriots 41-33. Now, all eyes are on Atlanta and Super Bowl 2019. The Atlanta Host Committee has spent all week in Minneapolis learning all they can to provide smooth sailing for next year. CBS 46's Vince Sims is also in Minnesota, and he's been getting answers about just what they've learned. Vince, good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon to you, Karen. Yes, it has been an exciting time here in the Minneapolis area. Now, officially, this morning, Commissioner Roger Goodell, Commissioner of the NFL, handed over the Super Bowl 53 ball to Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms of Atlanta. But to let you know exactly how much is wrapping up here in this area, take a look. We're inside the Mall of America. It was all decorated up for the Super Bowl, but look right there. Sadly, the banners, they must come down. They are wiping out any signs of Super Bowl 52 here in the Mall of America. But as far as that handoff, well, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, she proudly accepted the game ball. Take a listen.
Mayor?
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Perfect timing. All right, the mayor, members of the Atlanta Super Bowl Host Committee by her side accepted the ceremonial ball. They are now officially on the clock. But the committee members tell me the work started a long time ago, even before visiting Minneapolis this week, just to see how it was all done. All that they've seen and learned here now has to be put into action. I asked them all, what's next? What's the next year going to be like in prep?
The thing that I keep hearing over and over again is don't waste a single day. Every day matters, and we are very fortunate in that a lot of the preparations already taking place, and now it really begins in earnest.
What would be the next thing you would say is happening, boots on the ground in Atlanta now?
Yeah, we'll get back, we'll recap all of our notes, our learnings from here, and get things rolling. You know, one of the key things that we've seen here, and you've probably seen firsthand, is the volunteers.
All right, you're looking out back live. There it comes. It's all coming down. Now, for some people, this may be sad to see, but for Atlanta, it's exciting because that means what goes down here is coming up in Atlanta. Now, they will need a lot of volunteers to make this happen. They're going to need 10 to 12,000 of them. There'll be a campaign kicking off in Atlanta to start signing up those volunteers. Now, coming up this evening on CBS 46 News, starting at 4, I talked to the host committee and Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms about what's going to be their first steps that they start once they make it back to Atlanta. I'll have that report ready then. Reporting live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Vince Sims, CBS 46 News.
Great job in Minneapolis. Thanks so much, Vince. Atlanta has hosted 2 other Super Bowls. There was Super Bowl 28 in 1994, and you remember that icy one, Super Bowl 34 in 2000. Now the countdown's on, as Vince just told us, Super Bowl 53. All the information you need to know, the clock, everything we want to see, posted on CBS46.com. Okay, we're covering some breaking news for you right now out of DeKalb County. A SWAT team is trying to convince a would-be burglar to give himself up. The man's hiding inside a home in southeast Decatur right now. CBS 46's Kai Beach is live on the scene. Kai, is anyone else inside that home with that man?
Yes, we have actually spoke with the victim's family, or the people that are inside the house. A woman in her 60s is inside that house right now. SWAT team is surrounding it. We're with the son. Tell me, what's going on? What are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling confused. I want to know what's going on inside. See what, how my family is doing in there. So it's been about 3 hours now. So just want this to be over with and her to be safe.
Gotcha. So I just saw you talking with police. What were they telling you?
They was just trying to move people back. I don't know if they're getting ready to, SWAT is going to enter into the house or what there. So it's just, they're just trying to move everybody back for their own safety.
Do you know who the man is?
No. No idea.
This all started this morning when a guy was trying to break into your brother's car.
Yes.
Came outside, your brother confronted him. Mm-hmm. He pulled a gun on your brother, then took your brother inside. Tell me what happened next.
From what my brother and my dad told me, they woke my father up, and my father and the gentleman talked or whatever for a second, and then they wanted to know about, he wanted some money. So he was going to force my brother and my dad to take them to the ATM to get money. But luckily the neighbor seen what was going on, and when they opened up the garage, the DeKalb PD, was right there, and the guy ran back into the house, but, my dad and my brother walked on out then.
Gosh, well, we wish your stepmother the best. We do appreciate the time.
No problem.
And we'll have continuing coverage about what's going on here. For now, live in Decatur, Kai Beach, CBS 46 News.
Wow. All right, Kai, thank you so much. We are now keeping our eyes on the stock market for you as well this noon after the opening bell for the Dow dropped by as much as 355 points. Last week, it fell more than 700 points for the biggest drop of the year thus far. Here's where stock prices stand now at noon. We'll be watching these numbers throughout the day with an update for you at 4 o'clock. Dow Jones down. NASDAQ down 7,000 points. Standard & Poor's down 2,746. Now to a developing story in the city of South Fulton. An 11-year-old girl was killed in a car crash on her way home from school. CBS 46's Rebecca Schramm reports students are having a tough time dealing with their classmate's death.
Just outside the entrance of Sandtown Middle School on Campbellton Road, someone has left teddy bears and balloons. This is the scene of Friday afternoon's accident that took the life of Sandtown student 11-year-old Renaya Majors. Several students witnessed the aftermath, including Frederick Woodall's son.
He said that how bad the accident was, and he seen the kids laying there.
On Saturday, we spoke with the father of the victim. He told us his son was also in the car, which was driven by a family friend. His son called him moments after the crash and said Renaya had been ejected and she wasn't breathing.
And just the life just left me. I felt life leave me.
Evan Majors, who's a pastor, tells us his daughter was saved at a young age. He shared with us the comforting words he heard from Renaya's teachers.
They said to me, we can tell. We can tell. Because whatever you did or whatever way she was raised, it showed up in school.
I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't imagine. I wouldn't know what to do.
Orange paint on the pavement marks the spot where the accident happened. Parents tell us they've always felt like cars zip past Sandtown Middle School way too fast.
Like now, I mean, they fly up through here like they're not children here. And that's the sad, because it probably could have been,
I've learned grief counselors are at the school to help students work through their emotions. In the city of South Fulton, Rebecca Schramm, CBS 46 News.
Right now, Atlanta fire investigators are trying to identify the body of a man killed in a fire. Flames tore through this building yesterday morning. It's on the corner of MLK and Broad Street. People in the area say there are plenty of homeless people who live in that building. Well, it's happened again. Gunmen rob a Georgia Tech student near campus, this time on Snyder Street, just before 1 o'clock in the morning. The student was not hurt. We are waiting to find out what the robbers took from the student and get a description. This is at least 8 Georgia Tech students to be robbed at gunpoint near campus over the past few weeks. A controversial Super Bowl ad. Still ahead, the Dodge Ram commercial that used the voice of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and why the automaker is now defending the ad. Plus, Better Call Harry exposes a scam that could drain your bank account. And tonight at 11, an exclusive story from Jonathan Carlson, the CBS 46 Bulldog. Jonathan uncovers a shocking and disturbing pattern of sex-related crimes within Metro Atlanta's largest library system that's continued, he says, for years. Find out what's being done now to keep people safe. That's tonight at 11, only on CBS 46.